The 12-minute war. At 2:17 Universal Time Coordinated, every satellite surrounding Earth went blind. For exactly 3 seconds, the planet disappeared from every external sensor in the galaxy. Then the stars moved. Thousands of enormous alien warships emerged from hyperspace above Earth, covering the night sky like a second, artificial heaven. Their hulls were black, their engines burned crimson, and their weapons were already charging. Across Earth, people stepped outside and stared upward. No one knew who they were. No one knew why they had come, but the alien fleet knew exactly what it wanted. Inside the flagship Varkuun, Commander Threx stood before a holographic image of Earth. The planet looked small, blue, unprotected, beautiful, and, according to every scan, completely helpless. Defensive systems? Threx asked. Primitive, replied his tactical officer. Orbital weapons are outdated. Surface military response is insignificant. Their largest ships cannot survive against our smallest cruisers. Threx smiled. Then we will take the planet before they understand what is happening. His officer hesitated. Commander, there is something unusual. What? The moon. Threx glanced at the hologram. What about it? Our scanners cannot penetrate its surface. Then ignore it. The tactical officer looked uncertain. There are no natural geological structures beneath that region. Something is interfering with our sensors. Threx laughed. Every primitive civilization hides behind superstition. He raised one hand. Begin planetary assault. At 2:20, the first alien weapons fired. Red beams crossed the atmosphere. Earth's military networks activated simultaneously. Fighter jets launched. Missiles rose from underground facilities. Nuclear command centers went into emergency lockdown. But none of it mattered. The alien shields absorbed everything. Within seconds, human defenses began collapsing. Then something strange happened. The aliens stopped attacking. The entire fleet remained perfectly still. Threx stared at his tactical display. Why did the weapons stop? We didn't stop them. Then who did? A technician suddenly shouted. Commander, we're detecting an energy pulse from Earth. Source? The answer appeared on the screen. The moon. Threx's expression changed. A blue line of light suddenly appeared across the lunar surface. Then another, and another. Within seconds, enormous symbols covered the moon like glowing veins. The alien fleet went silent. Back on Earth, every television, phone, and emergency screen suddenly displayed the same message. It wasn't sent by a government. It wasn't sent by a military. It wasn't sent by a human. It simply appeared. System awakening. Planetary defense. Online. Threx stepped backward. What is this? His tactical officer whispered. Commander, the moon began to open. And beneath its surface, something enormous started moving. For the first time in 5,000 years, humanity's secret was no longer a secret. The moon wasn't a moon. The alien fleet had expected panic. Instead, Earth became strangely quiet. Millions of people watched the moon. The clouds separated. The oceans reflected a blue light spreading across the planet. And beneath the lunar surface, something impossible emerged. It wasn't a weapon. It was a structure, a gigantic metallic ring, buried beneath thousands of meters of rock, slowly rotated around the moon's core. Commander Threx stared at it in disbelief. That's impossible. His tactical officer swallowed. The structure is older than their civilization. How old? The computer calculated, then recalculated, then displayed the same answer again. Estimated age, 5 million years. Threx's face went pale. Humans have only been civilized for a few thousand years. Correct. Then who built it? Nobody answered. Suddenly, a transmission entered every alien ship. It was not encrypted. It was not military. It was simply a human voice. An old man appeared on the flagship's central display. His hair was white. His clothes were simple. Behind him stood a massive underground chamber filled with machinery. My name is Dr. Elias Kane, he said. Threx stared at him. You have invaded Earth. Kane nodded. Yes. You knew we were coming? For 73 years. Silence filled the bridge. Threx stepped toward the screen. Impossible. Kane smiled. That's what your scientists said when they discovered our signals. Threx looked toward the moon. What is that structure? Kane didn't answer immediately. Instead, he asked, how many civilizations have you conquered? Threx's expression hardened. 72. And how many fought back? All of them. And how many survived? Threx remained silent. None, Kane said. The smile disappeared from his face. That's why humanity built the Lunar Archive. Threx frowned. The archive? The moon isn't a weapon. Kane turned toward the machinery behind him. It's a prison. The room went silent. Threx's tactical officer immediately began scanning the moon. Commander. What? There is another energy source. Where? The officer pointed toward Earth. Inside the planet. Kane continued speaking. 5 million years ago, something crossed our solar system. It wasn't an empire. It wasn't an army. It was a species that consumed entire civilizations. Our ancestors discovered its technology and learned one terrible truth. Kane looked directly into the camera. Humanity wasn't the first intelligent species on Earth. Threx's eyes widened. The first civilization built the Lunar Archive. Then they disappeared. Why? Kane's expression became cold. Because they weren't trying to protect Earth from invaders. They were trying to protect the galaxy from what was sleeping beneath Earth. The alien fleet suddenly detected a massive pulse from the planet. Every ship's alarm began screaming. Kane looked upward. Unfortunately, your invasion just woke it up. The thing beneath Earth. For the first time in its history, the Varkuun Empire ordered a retreat. Thousands of ships turned away from Earth. But they didn't get far. A gravitational wave swept through space. Every alien engine shut down. The fleet became motionless. Threx looked at his tactical officer. What's happening? We're trapped. By the humans? No. The officer's voice trembled. By Earth. Across the planet, mountains began glowing. Not with fire. With light. Ancient symbols appeared beneath deserts, oceans, forests, and cities. Humanity had never built them. Humanity had only protected them. In an underground facility beneath Antarctica, Dr. Elias Kane watched the readings. How long? A scientist beside him answered. 7 minutes. Until what? Until the seal breaks. Kane closed his eyes. For decades, he had prepared for this moment. But preparation didn't make it easier. On the alien flagship, Threx received another transmission. This time, it came from Earth. Kane appeared. Commander, you have 2 choices. Threx stared at him. What choices? Leave the galaxy. Threx almost laughed. We cannot leave. I know. Then why offer us a choice? Because humans don't kill enemies who surrender. Threx looked at the tactical screen. Your planet is surrounded by my fleet. Kane shook his head. No. He pointed toward the screen. Your fleet is surrounding our planet. Threx didn't understand. Then the moon changed. The giant ring beneath its surface began rotating faster. A beam of blue energy connected the moon to Earth. And suddenly the entire planet became transparent on the alien sensors. Beneath the crust was something enormous. A shape larger than continents. Something buried deep inside Earth. Something alive. The alien fleet detected a heartbeat. One pulse. Then another. The flagship shook. Threx whispered. What is that? Kane answered quietly. The reason the first civilization disappeared. The ground beneath Earth cracked. Across the planet, people saw enormous blue lights beneath the oceans. The thing beneath Earth was waking. Alien soldiers began abandoning their posts. Some screamed. Others prayed. Threx finally understood. The humans hadn't been preparing to defeat the alien fleet. They had been preparing to make sure the fleet never damaged the planet enough to break the seal. The invasion had forced humanity's hand. The creature beneath Earth opened one enormous eye. The alien fleet suddenly received a message. Not from Kane. Not from humanity. From the creature. The translation appeared on every alien display. Hunger. Threx turned toward Kane. Help us. Kane stared at him. You came here to conquer us. I was wrong. Then prove it. How? Kane's answer was simple. Help humanity save your fleet. Threx looked at the thousands of ships outside. For the first time in Varkuun history, an alien commander gave an order no emperor had ever given before. All ships, protect Earth, humanity's real weapon. The battle that followed was unlike anything the galaxy had ever witnessed. Human fighters flew beside alien cruisers. Earth's primitive-looking weapons synchronized with Varkuun technology. For the first time, former enemies fought on the same side. But their enemy wasn't an army. It was hunger itself. The creature beneath Earth began pulling energy from the planet. Oceans rose. Storms covered entire continents. The moon's ancient ring accelerated until it became a giant blue circle around the lunar surface. Dr. Kane stood inside the Antarctic control chamber. How much power? A scientist answered. Not enough. Kane looked at the central display. Then we use the fleet. The scientist froze. Every ship, above Earth, thousands of alien vessels connected their engines. One by one, their energy flowed toward the moon. Threx stood on the bridge of the Varkuun. Commander, his officer said, if we do this, our fleet may never have enough power to return home. Threx watched Earth. Then we stay. The alien fleet released everything. The moon became brighter than the sun. The ancient structure beneath its surface activated completely. A massive blue beam struck Earth. The creature screamed. Its enormous form began disappearing beneath the crust. But it fought back. The planet shook. Kane's console exploded. He fell to the ground. The seal was failing. Then a message appeared. Lunar Archive. Final protocol available. Kane stared at it. He understood immediately. The final protocol had never been tested, because it required one thing. Humanity had to trust the aliens. Kane opened a planetary transmission. Every human and every alien heard his voice. We have spent thousands of years believing survival meant standing alone. He looked toward the sky. We were wrong. Humanity survived because someone, somewhere always chose to protect someone else. He turned toward the moon. Today, we choose the galaxy. Threx activated the Varkuun fleet. All ships, hold the line. Humanity joined them. Millions of human satellites synchronized. Alien engines synchronized. The moon's ancient ring synchronized. Then the entire system released one final pulse. Silence. The creature vanished. The oceans calmed. The storms disappeared. And the moon returned to normal. For several minutes, nobody spoke. Then Threx received one final message from Earth. It was from Kane. Commander. Threx smiled. Doctor. Kane looked toward the sky. You came to Earth believing humans were weak. Threx answered. We were wrong. No. Kane said. You were looking for a weapon. Threx understood. And you found one. Kane smiled. No. Humanity isn't the weapon. The choice to protect someone else is. Years later, the Varkuun Empire changed its laws. 72 conquered worlds were liberated. The Empire's first interstellar treaty was signed on Earth. And the moon? Humanity never explained what was really hidden beneath it. Because somewhere deep inside the Lunar Archive, one final message remained. Defense system status. Active. Galactic threat level. Unknown. Humanity. Watching. And for the first time in galactic history, the stars were no longer afraid of what humanity might destroy. They were amazed by what humanity had chosen to protect.